Welcome back, folks. Perseverance and sports, they go hand in hand. You need to be able to push through obstacles in order to succeed, and few people exemplify that quite like Lamar's native and current University of South Dakota thrower, Vander Sluis, this week's Sports Force champion.
So, freshman year came out really strong. Actually was done with football here and continued just to do track. Sophomore year, felt like it was kind of my time to really take off, and then I had a hip surgery that wasn't in my plan, so I didn't compete my sophomore year. And then last year, last year was rough.
Last year, while working his way back to throwing shot put and discus for the South Dakota Coyotes, Vander Sluis began feeling pain in his groin.
Kind of hurts a little bit. It wasn't kind of that feeling all the time. That's kind of like how I knew something was off, and it just was like a steady, constant feeling for hours on end, and wasn't sure what was going on. And then just finally decided might be something I need to look into, see what was going on, and come find out January, diagnosed with testicular cancer. That really wasn't the plan I wanted.
Treatment started immediately as Vander Sluis began another battle to get back inside the circle.
First surgery was in February of last year, February 10, to remove that initial mass, I guess you would call it, and then tumor. And then I came back from that surgery 6 to 8 weeks, thought I was going to get right into outdoor, and it was going to be an awesome season. I was going to get back to it. But then I had a CT scan with my doctor in Sioux Falls, and come find out it had spread to my abdomen.
Throughout his battle, Vander Sluis always had people fighting alongside him, whether at home or inside the Dome Sweet Dome.
And that helped a lot, to have a group of guys and girls that just were continually around me, just to be there for me, and then family too. Close-knit group, we are my family, and that on top of my girlfriend, and then just ultimately just having faith, right? Faith in God that everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out.
And with that support, Vander Sluis has been able to find his way back into competition, following one of the biggest victories of his life.
Yeah, right now I'm actually a year cancer-free, so that's an amazing feeling to have.
The Lamar's native picked up a first-place finish in the shot put at the Sioux City Relays, launching a 60-foot 6 3/4-inch throw. But the senior has bigger goals for this season in Vermilion.
I think it's just right now to make the West Regional meet, make the first round for the NCAAs, and maybe push my way through. But overall, get over for that 60-foot mark again for outdoor like I did indoor, and maybe push some school records around a little bit. That's the goal.